Hey everyone, and welcome back. Are you ready to dive into a world of free application tools? Because I am.
I'm ready.
Today, we're going to be talking about some websites that offer high-quality software, and you guessed it, it's totally free.
Totally free.
So, I know our listeners, you love exploring new tech, and I'm so excited about this because think of this as unlocking a treasure chest of powerful tools ready for any task you throw at them.
It is a treasure trove.
Yeah.
And the best part is, you don't just get the tool, like you said, you often get access to the source code.
Ooh, source code, fancy.
Which is the blueprint behind the tool, and that means you can customize it, learn from it, and even share modifications that you make.
It's like building your own lightsaber.
It is, yeah.
That is so cool. So our first stop on this journey is GitHub. Now, I'll be honest, I've heard the name. I know it's out there. It's a little intimidating.
I get it.
So, can you explain what is the deal with this platform? Is it just for the super techie people out there?
Well, yeah, it's known as a developer's playground.
Playground.
But don't let that scare you away.
Okay.
It's essentially a massive library of projects. They range from simple utilities, like ones that automate tasks, to very complex applications that rival their paid counterparts.
So, you could get pro-level tools without paying pro-level prices.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
And you might be surprised by how user-friendly a lot of the projects are.
Okay, that is good to know.
Okay.
So, if I needed a specific tool for something, there's a chance I could find it on GitHub, even if, I'm not a coding expert.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the beauty of GitHub is the community.
Okay.
You have developers constantly working on these projects to improve them, fix bugs, provide support. It's a goldmine for anyone who likes to tinker and learn.
So it's not just about finding free software, it's about finding reliable software that has a built-in support system.
Exactly.
That is a huge bonus.
Huge bonus. But you do want to remember, with open source projects, the quality can vary.
Okay.
That's why it's important to check out user reviews and ratings before you download something. And always take a quick glance at the license.
Okay.
That tells you how you're allowed to use and distribute software.
Got it. So a little research can save a lot of headaches down the line.
Absolutely.
So we've talked about GitHub, which is huge. Are there any other places worth exploring for, these free applications?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's talk about SourceForge.
SourceForge.
Another popular platform for open source software. And some might say it's a little bit more user-friendly, especially if you're new to the scene.
Okay, so what makes SourceForge stand out? What's its unique thing?
Well, it has a really robust review system.
Reviews, okay.
So before you download anything, you can get a really good sense of its quality, and you can see what other users have said about it.
That's helpful.
It's really valuable. It can save you from downloading something buggy or something that's just outdated.
So it saves time and it saves frustration.
Exactly.
I like it. But you did say it might be easier to navigate. Is there something about GitHub that makes it a little trickier?
Yeah, GitHub just has such a wider selection of projects.
Okay.
It can be a little overwhelming, honestly, if you're a beginner. It's also a little more technical in terms of how the projects are presented. SourceForge, on the other hand, has a much more straightforward layout.
Got it. So it sounds like then SourceForge is a good starting point if I'm looking for something specific and I want to make sure that it's, reliable before I download it.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. But it's worth noting that SourceForge might not be as actively updated as GitHub.
Right.
Some projects might be a little dormant, right?
Yeah, they could be a little sleepy.
Sleepy projects.
Yeah.
So if I want the latest and greatest cutting edge, GitHub might be the better bet then.
It's more likely, yes. Now, if you're looking for a way to simplify downloading and installing multiple applications at once, particularly if you're a Windows user, Ninite is a fantastic option.
Ooh, tell me more. Simplifying sounds good to me.
Ninite is all about efficiency. You select the applications you want from their curated list.
Curated list.
And it bundles them all into a single installer.
Okay.
So no more clicking through a million different download pages.
I hate those.
No more worrying about unwanted bundled software. Ninite is clean, it's safe, and it saves you a ton of time.
Wow. That sounds incredibly convenient. So I could install a whole suite of programs all at once.
Exactly. You can be sure that you're getting clean installations free from any unwanted surprises.
See, that is a big plus for me. I've had some bad experiences with bundled software before.
I feel you.
You mentioned curated lists.
Yes.
Does that mean that Ninite doesn't have every single thing under the sun?
You're right. Ninite does offer a good selection of popular applications.
Popular? Okay.
But it might not have that very specific niche tool that you're looking for.
Okay. So it's kind of a trade-off.
It is.
Convenience maybe for a slightly smaller selection. Anything else I should know about Ninite?
It's currently Windows only, and you can't choose specific versions or configurations. Nine-Night prioritizes simplicity and speed, so you do sacrifice a little bit of flexibility.
Okay, good to know. So Nine-Night, super convenient for Windows users who want a really quick and easy way to install those popular applications.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Now let's talk about a platform with a slightly different focus, and that's the GNU project.
GNU.
It's been a pioneer in free and open source software, and it has been for decades.
Wow, decades.
And its focus is really on ensuring that software is truly free for everyone to use, modify, and share.
Okay. I'm all about software freedom, but how does this work in practice?
They released their software under the GNU General Public License, or GPL for short.
GNU GPL, got it.
And that's basically a legal framework that guarantees you certain freedoms
Okay.
when using and distributing their software. For example, you're free to modify a GNU program to fit your very specific needs, something you absolutely cannot do with most commercial software.
So it's not just about getting free software, it's about having the freedom to do whatever I want with it.
Exactly.
That is pretty cool.
And they offer a vast range of really high-quality tools, including compilers, debuggers, system utilities, and libraries. These are essential building blocks for software development, and they're all available for free.
Okay, compilers, debuggers. It sounds a little intimidating for someone who, I don't know, maybe doesn't have that technical background.
You're right. A lot of GNU tools are designed primarily for command line interfaces,
Okay.
which can be daunting for beginners. But don't let that discourage you. There are tons of resources available online to help you get started with command line interfaces. It's a valuable skill to learn, and it opens up a whole new world of possibilities.
Okay. Okay.
Now, let's wrap up this part of our deep dive with the Open Source Initiative, or OSI.
Oh.
Now, this isn't a platform for downloading software directly, but it's an invaluable resource nonetheless.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What does the OSI do?
Well, the OSI is a nonprofit organization, and they are dedicated to promoting open source software.
Okay, that makes sense.
And their website acts as a comprehensive directory of open source projects. And they're categorized by type and license. It's a fantastic place to discover new tools, discover new applications that you might not find elsewhere.
So it's kind of like a one-stop shop for finding and understanding these open source projects.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they also provide clear explanations of different open source licenses so you understand your rights and responsibilities when you're using open source software.
That is super helpful. You know, licenses and legal stuff, sometimes I get a little wary of those, so having a resource that explains it clearly, that's great.
It ties into the broader philosophy behind open source software,
Okay.
which is the idea of free access, collaboration, community-driven development. It's not just about the tools, it's about the values that they represent.
I like that. So OSI helps me find the tools A&D. It helps me understand the principles behind the open source software.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Alternative 2.
Alternative to?
It's a website with a very simple premise, but it's brilliant. You tell it an application that you like, and it suggests a bunch of alternatives, both free and paid.
That's so clever. I can see this being a lifesaver in so many situations. Say, I'm looking for a free alternative to Photoshop.
Absolutely.
Or maybe I need a project management tool that's a little more user-friendly
Yeah.
than the one I'm currently using.
Exactly. It's all about expanding your options and finding the best fit. And what I really appreciate about Alternative 2 is that it's community driven. So users can contribute suggestions, they rate the quality of alternatives, they provide insights.
So it's like tapping into the collective wisdom of tech-savvy people all around the world.
It is. It is.
I love that. And I bet it's a goldmine for discovering those hidden gems.
Oh, absolutely.
Those lesser-known applications.
Yeah.
That might be exactly what you need, but you just haven't stumbled across them yet.
Exactly. It's like having a personal software recommendation engine.
Ooh, I like that. Now, while we're on the topic of discovering new tools, we can't forget about Product Hunt.
Of course not.
Product Hunt, the go-to destination
Yes.
for all things new and exciting.
New and shiny.
They showcase the latest apps, websites, tech gadgets, everything.
And while not all of the products featured on Product Hunt are free, they do have a section dedicated to freebies, which is definitely worth checking out.
Oh, for sure. I'm always on Product Hunt, just amazed at the innovative stuff that people come up with. And they do such a good job of curating and highlighting the most promising offerings.
Absolutely.
It's a fantastic way to stay ahead of the curve and discover those tools that, might revolutionize your workflow.
Yeah.
Or just make your life a little easier.
Or both.
Or both, ideally. Speaking of making life easier, let's talk about a resource that is all about simplifying web development. We've got Free Code Camp on our list,
Oh, yes.
and it's a game changer for anyone who's interested in, like, learning to code.
It is. Free Code Camp is incredible. It offers a completely free, interactive coding curriculum, and it's all about learning by doing. You build real-world projects as you go through the lessons.
I love that approach. Learning by doing is the best way
Absolutely.
to master any skill,
Hands down.
especially coding. Plus, I've heard the Free Code Camp community is super supportive, so you're never really alone.
Oh, they're amazing. And the skills that you acquire through Free Code Camp, those can open up a lot of doors. You could build websites, you could create web applications, even pursue a whole career in software development thanks to this free resource.
That's incredible. It's like, it just shows how technology can be so accessible and so empowering.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's shift gears for a second and talk about a resource that is geared more towards visual learners. Canva? Anyone.
Love Canva.
It's such a fantastic online design platform. Like, you can create stunning visuals even if you don't have any prior design experience.
It's so user-friendly.
Social media graphics, presentations, posters, invitations, you name it.
Yeah. You can do it on Canva.
Yay.
And the best part is they offer a free plan
Free plan.
that gives you access to a really generous library of templates, graphics, and design elements.
So it's perfect for anyone who needs to create, like, eye-catching visuals without having to invest in expensive design software.
Exactly.
Or hire a professional.
Exactly. Now, while Canva does offer paid plans that give you additional features, the free plan is more than enough for most casual users.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And even some small businesses.
Yeah.
Canva is a prime example of how free tools can empower people to be creative,
I agree.
to express themselves visually without any barriers to entry.
Absolutely. It really is a testament to the fact that high-quality design tools don't have to be exclusive.
Right, they don't have to be expensive. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground.
Let's start with archive.org.
Archive.org. Okay.
You might know it as the home of the Wayback Machine, where you can see archived versions of websites.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely used the Wayback Machine for a few trips down memory lane.
It's fun, but what many people don't realize is that archive.org also houses a vast collection of free software.
Wait, really? Like, what kind of software are we talking about here?
Everything from classic games to vintage productivity tools, even early versions of operating systems. It's like a museum of software history.
That's so cool. But is any of this old software actually useful today?
You might be surprised. Some of these older applications can be incredibly useful, especially if you're working with older hardware, or maybe you need a specific piece of software that's no longer commercially available.
Oh, that makes sense. So it's not just about nostalgia, it's about finding tools that might actually solve a problem.
Exactly. And because it's free, you can experiment and explore without any risk.
Right. Okay, cool. Speaking of finding the right tool for the job, let's talk about LibHunt.
LibHunt, yes.
LibHunt, I haven't heard of that one. What is that?
LibHunt helps you discover and compare open source software libraries.
Okay. For someone who doesn't know, what are software libraries?
Think of them as pre-built modules.
Okay.
Developers can use them to add specific functionality to their programs.
Okay.
So you might not interact with them directly, but they're kind of like the unsung heroes behind a lot of the applications you use every day.
So it's kind of like the behind-the-scenes stuff that makes software work.
Exactly. And LibHunt makes it easy to find the right library for your needs. Whether you're a seasoned developer or just starting out, it can be a really valuable resource.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this could be useful for certain projects. What else do we have on our list of hidden gems?
Let's shift gears from practical tools to something a little more playful and creative. Have you heard of JS13 Key Games?
JS13 Key Games. I have not. What makes this one special?
It's an annual JavaScript coding competition. But there's a catch.
Ooh, I like a good catch.
All games submitted to the competition must be no larger than 13 kilobytes in size.
Wait, 13 kilobytes? That's tiny.
It is,
Some image files are bigger than that.
right.
How is it even possible to make a game that small?
That's the challenge and the fun of it.
Okay,
Developers have to be incredibly creative, pushing the limits of what's possible.
right.
They're essentially creating, like, digital haikus, where every single byte of code counts.
That is such a great analogy.
Right.
So what kind of games come out of this competition?
You'll find everything from puzzle games to platformers to shooters, all incredibly compact and innovative.
Okay, this is definitely something I need to check out.
You should.
I'm really impressed by the creativity.
Oh, it's amazing. And the best part is that all the games submitted to JS13K Games are open source, so you can enjoy the games and learn from the code.
That is so cool, inspiring and educational. Okay, what's our final stop on this deep dive?
Let's wrap things up with a resource that's all about using technology for social good.
Okay.
Have you heard of Code for America?
I have. They connect tech people with local governments, right?
That's right. It's a nonprofit organization that brings together tech professionals and local governments
Okay.
to solve civic challenges.
Okay.
Code for America volunteers work on projects like improving access to government services or developing tools that promote transparency and civic engagement.
So it's kind of like a Peace Corps for coders,
Exactly.
using their skills to improve communities.
Exactly.
I love it. This has been such an eye-opening deep dive.
It has been fun.
I know, right? We've explored like such a wide range of free application tools, from massive platforms like GitHub to those hidden gems.
The hidden gems are the best.
I know, I'm all about those hidden gems. Like archive.org and JS13K Games.
So good.
I'm walking away with a whole new appreciation for the power and the potential of open source software and free resources.
That's what it's all about. And remember, this is just the beginning. There's a vast and ever-growing ecosystem of free application tools out there.
Right.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep creating.
That's great advice. Thank you so much for guiding me through this deep dive. I can't wait to see what I discover next.
Me too. This has been fun. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.